Hey, what's up folks? Michael here with Primal Edge. And I was today years old when I found out that it is in fact possible to kick yourself in the nuts. Welcome to 3D Thursday, a new series where I'm going to be spotlighting anything and everything 3D printed related. In today's episode, we're going to go ahead and use Tinkercad to create a couple of accessories for the small parts vise that I made last week. And if you didn't see that video, I will definitely link it down below. Feel free to check it out after this one, of course. And if you're into this kind of content, maker style content, 3D printing, woodwork, leatherwork, metalwork, anything like that, consider subscribing to the channel. We'd love to have you as part of the community. Okay, so what we're going to do today is make a couple of attachments for the threaded rods that are on the vise. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to pull over a couple of cylinders here in Tinkercad. And I'm going to use these little buttons down here and the little fields here to define exactly how big I want it. And for this instance, we're going 15 by 15 millimeters. Now, one thing to keep in mind, you'll see the sides here, they're kind of squared off like octagonish. That's here. You're going to fix that by increasing that to the maximum, and that's going to give you a nice smooth surface. And just for the aesthetics, I want to go ahead and add a small bevel. So I'm going to turn that from 0 to 1. And that just makes it look kind of nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pull in another cylinder and do similar modifications to this one as well. We're going to make the sides nice and smooth. Going to put a bevel on it. And the size here is 20 by 20, but we're going to change that to 10 by 10. Now the 10 by 10 kind of matches all of the male and female connecting points that I use on my lightsabers. So you're going to see that this 10 millimeter is going to come into play real soon here. Right now we're going to move those out of the way. And I'm going to make a copy of them just using Control D. And then using that alignment tool, I'm going to align one inside the other. Now you see the 10 millimeter cylinder is inside right there, the larger one. So I lifted it up just a little bit here. And what I'm going to do is raise it up so that about 10 millimeters of that 20 millimeter tall cylinder is sticking out. You see right here, that's 20 millimeters, and I'm going to go all the way down right there. So I want to have, if I go clear and show you clear, you can see exactly where that cylinder is. So what I want to do is raise the inner cylinder and get that up and out of the way a little bit more. I'm going to highlight it right there. And I'm going to turn it into a hole, and I'm going to group it. Okay, so the next shape I pulled in was a thread. So what I want to try to do is have this cylinder right here with the threads at the bottom and the hole at the top. But you'll see if I stretch this out, everything kind of stretches, almost like a rubber band. Now when I pulled this thread in, I know that I need it about this size in order to accommodate the 5/16 threads that I'm using. But it's too tall for what I need, which is why I make masters and then I have a copy. So what I'm going to do is come over here and take that copy over there, and I'm going to raise it up about 35 millimeters high. Yeah, right. Maybe, 35. We'll go with straight 35. And then I'm going to come over here, make a copy of that. Again, just in case anything happens, I can revert back to the original real easy. I'm going to put the threads at the bottom using the align tool again, center left and right, and then center it front to back. Now, if I go under here, you can see right here, if I turn that invisible, you'll see where the thread is right there. Okay, so now we're going to turn it back to a solid. You can see the threads are still sitting right there at the bottom. Now, if I take this area and highlight them both and then use the group button or hit Control G, those two will combine, and I will now have a 35 millimeter rod with threads in the bottom of it, which is exactly what we want. Now I can take this and use it to make the next two items that I need. First and foremost, I'm going to take this pin right here, and I'm going to set it up right here. I'm going to center it, align it to the top, set it left to right, front to back. Now you can see it sitting all the way at the top. And to give me a little bit more room, I'm going to select it and grab that arrow and pull it up just a little bit to make sure that I'm clear. And I don't want to actually make that bevel in the cylinder. Now you can see I'm clear down there. There's plenty of meat between the threads and where the hole will be right here. So what I'll do is turn the part back to a solid, highlight both the hole as well as the part, group them together, and now I have the first part made. So now we're going to go ahead and repeat this process, only this time instead of making threads in the bottom and a hole at the top, I'm going to do threads at the bottom and a nipple at the top, or male to female, or whatever you're more comfortable with for a descriptor. But there's going to be a peg coming out at the top of this. Usually this is referred to as male and female. But insert whatever language works for you. So let's line these up. All right, I'm going to make this about 10 tall. And we're going to go ahead and line all these up. We're going to line everything front to back. And let's take this piece and go ahead and see where it falls into here. And I'm going to take this and raise it up just a little bit higher. I want some of the meat for the male part to be in the shaft like this. So, okay, so what I'm doing is I've got most of the meat that's going to be sitting, most of the shaft is going to be in the main cylinder body. And now what I'm going to do is take this cone piece, and I'm going to make it kind of flat. I'll probably have to modify this a little bit. What I'm going to do here is build a little flange at the base of where the shaft meets the body. And really, this is for aesthetics. It's absolutely not necessary. I'm just doing it mainly for the sake of showing you guys. But we'll go here, and you can see I can adjust this many different ways. And right now I want to flip it over end for end. So I'm going to use the top to bottom arrows there. And we're going to highlight everything. We're going to use the alignment tool again, align everything left to right, front to back. And now I'm going to grab the purple cone using that black triangle. We're going to pull it all the way up. And we're going to have some fun adjusting it. You'll see when I put it all the way up to the top right there, it kind of shimmers. You see that little shimmering happening right there? That lets you know that you are perfectly aligned with whatever other item you're trying to line up with. So those two areas are flush. Now that looks like it's, perfect for breaking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this down a little bit, and then I'm going to use the red squares, or the black square, they turn red when you highlight them, and extend it. What that will do is make the cone taller or smaller, respectively. I like that. That looks pretty good. I think we're going to be okay with that. So I'm going to select everything, the shaft, the body, the cone, and the threads, and we're going to go ahead and group all that together. And guys, that's it. All I need to do now is set my parameters on the slicer software, print these out, and they will look like this at the end. And here they are attached to the vise. I think they came out pretty good. It's a really quick and easy build here. I'm just showing you a little bit of stuff on Tinkercad. I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I appreciate you sticking around. If you enjoyed it, let me know with a big thumbs up. again, consider subscribing, and you all have a great day. I'll see you soon.